Good evening! Odyssey is here and so am I. We're taking a look at Adam Malkovich, a stranded starship pilot who's crash-landed in a volcanic crater. We're going to follow this tough and grizzled old man as he tries to cling on to life in a harsh environment, and just maybe, return to the life he loves, sailing through the stars and past the void. Here's our man now. Just mere minutes ago, his beloved cruiser was sailing effortlessly through the world's atmosphere when it was shot down by a massive orbital cannon. He steals his wits, the survival training kicks in. First, we survey the area. No wreckage of the ship, very few natural resources, an abundance of stone, and some old ruins. A perfect place to set up shelter. A bit luxurious even. This should do fine. Adam, without clothes or protection from the elements, gets to work settling the land. He needs wood, stone, berries. There's a problem though. In this volcanic crater, there's no telling when the lava will spring to life. It could either flow or rain down from the heavens. Scalding ash could scrape at his lungs. He can't build a shelter out of wood. He needs rock and stone to stay safe from this place. Adam notices the trees are coming from extremely rich soil. He can use this to nurture a small crop of rice, which will be edible in a matter of days. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that kind of time. Adam is piss poor at gardening, and he's hungry now. Further starvation will lead to a loss in muscle mass, which he can't afford to lose. He patches himself up after slaying a wild rat with his bare hands, and chokes down dinner. Adam tells himself he's eaten worse, but no one is around to believe him. It's time for shelter. After a sleepless night under the stars and a breakfast of berries, Adam starts digging at the marble in the crumbling hillside with his bare hands. He works on this for most of the day and spends the cool evening planting rice in the soil. The raw marble he gathered is refined into bricks that he uses to round off the walls of the old ruins, and finally, there's shelter from the elements. Shelter from the heat of the lava, the searing of the sunlight. Overworked, hot, and hungry, a horseshoe ring is in order. Morale is one of the most important pillars of long-term survival. Adam, feeling the inevitable bite of hunger once more, traps and consumes a wild rabbit. He's a stoic, iron-willed man. He feels nothing. This is a utilitarian task purely to stay alive. A transfer of calories, a natural resupply of energy needed to keep working. We can't afford any hesitations right now, only a surprisingly enjoyable game of horseshoes. The rice is almost finished, but it's time for another rat. This time, Adam retches. He's sick. He swears to any god that will listen that his next meal will be delicious, filling rice. A bed to sleep in. The malleable frame and the soft cushion feels incredible, even if it is just straw. Adam has a pillow made of various furs, and for the first time since he survived the crash, he can sleep for more than a few hours at a time. It'll be worth it too, because he has a nasty fever and can only barely keep up with it. Any plans to cook real food have been delayed in exchange for bed rest. Lots and lots of wasteful, boring, delaying bed rest. His head pounds with migraine. Every shift of weight makes him want to vomit. Adam is grateful for the roof over his head and the marble walls keeping him safe from the volcanic crater outside. After several nightmarish days of bed rest, occasionally getting up to crunch down raw, unflavored rice, Adam's immune system kicks in and the fever goes away. He's back on his feet, gently tossing some horseshoes before he gets back to work. Even an old, toughened man needs to celebrate a bit. The next harvest of rice is ready, and there's no better time to build a stove. He cooks in the dark, but before he chows down, it's very important to build a table and a seat. Finally, after almost 2 weeks, Adam enjoys a cooked meal, sat comfortably at a table. Maybe he can make it out of this after all. And if we're going to stay safe from the impending lava flows, we need a wall around our garden. This food source is critical, holy even, and must be protected at all costs. A raid! Tynan is here. Those who know him well. Adam devises a plan. He tells the visitors at his shelter that there's a murderer coming, and they can keep any loot or materials Tynan drops. The tone of his natural leadership is compelling, and the guests make very short work of the attacker. Adam is untouched, but it's a sobering reminder he isn't alone out here. He needs defense, protection, arms. At a research bench, he devises plans for a recurve bow. Test it out by hunting a large reptile, and it shoots fine. It's certainly no charge rifle, but it'll work. It's his own bow. Handmade. His tool. It feels good in the hands to have protection. Suddenly, a roar in the skies. Another crash lander, probably a victim from the mysterious orbital cannon, crashes down onto the site. Her name is Lily, and she's stuck with a nasty case of paralytic abasia. This will keep her bedridden and nearly useless for several weeks. Adam needs to make a choice. She'll need to be fed and cared for, taking time and resources away from his own survival. But in a few weeks, she'll be up and ready to assist. A second pair of hands will double the productivity, dramatically increasing their odds of escape. Adam rescues Lily, carrying her in his arms and taking her to the nice soft bed. He builds a new one for himself in the other corner of the ruins and meditates on his decision at the dining table. The shelter needs power. It's time to research solar panels. The delicate calls of a scared young man echo through the night. Adam jumps to his feet, arrow aimed into the darkness, when the kid steps out from behind a rock. Chalaki's home has been destroyed by a freak volcano eruption, and he begs to stay with them for a couple days until he can be back on his feet. It's an easy choice for Adam. He knows the power of a good crew more than anyone. An extra pair of hands matters. He loosens the bowstring and invites Chalaki inside. It's not much, but it's a roof and some rice. "Pardon my lack of clothing," Adam says. "I didn't want to take it from the patient. She's been through enough already." Chalaki gets to work tending to the rice paddies, assistance Adam is very grateful for. He hates plants. He hates harvesting. He prefers logistics and actions, and silently hopes Chalaki decides to stay permanently. The boy is good at taking orders, and the next several days are wildly productive. When the boy asks who the group is, Adam stands still for a moment. He names his crew after his old ship, the Star-bound Exodites, having their humble beginnings here at Hell's Landing. Slowly, the ruins are turning from a shelter to a shack. Land, property, gardens, storage, tables, and chairs. Corn has been planted, representing an iron will for the crew to survive and see harvest in a few months. Tragedy strikes. A wild boomalope goes mad, and Chalaki is trapped in the component mines with it. There's no way out. He's fighting megafauna with his bare hands. It just won't work. Adam hears the panic screaming and sprints over with his recurve bow. There's only one way the boy will survive. Adam punctures one of the explosive sacks with a skilled shot, and the boy is blown backwards against the wall, slamming his head into the rock. He's hurt bad, crawling towards Adam, crying to get out of the cave. Stone-faced and cold, Adam rescues the boy and carries him to bed. There's no medicine, of course. The best he can do is protect the burns from the elements and occasionally pour some cold water on the bandages. Chalaki winces and moans in the dark shack as Adam nurses the wounds. Lily, still paralyzed neck down, addresses him sweetly. She helps him relax, telling stories of how good a job Adam has done for everyone so far, how he's given them both a safe place, and how she trusts implicitly that they'll all be just fine. After a few days of bed rest, Chalaki gathers his things and leaves in the middle of the night. He doesn't want to be a bother to Adam and Lily. He needs to go his own way and heads off into the darkness. Adam isn't surprised the following morning. There's one less set of hands, the boy left, and he has to work twice as hard now. The goal is clear. Finish the first solar panel so the shack can finally get working lights on. Now that's a breath of fresh air. A pack of man-hunting vultures keeps Adam stuck inside, so he researches smithing. The big, thick marble walls are doing a great job keeping the local wildlife at bay. And look at that! A stray volcano eruption even knocks one out. Nice. The day Adam's long-dreaded arrives. A raider coming to attack his shack, and this time there's no one around to help him. He readjusts the grip on the bow and takes aim. Over the pool of lava. A missed shot. Another. He's run out of time. The waster is gaining on him. A mad sprint begins as Adam runs his naked body around the dirt and through the ruins to try gaining ground on the attacker, hoping to exhaust the small man. Another aim lets loose, and a third miss. Ross gains ground and swings his blade, but Adam is swift to dodge and takes off into the ruins. More running. Another turn to snap fire an arrow, and a fourth miss. This time he's not so lucky. The man bashes the knife pommel into Adam's collarbone. More sprinting through the grasses. Another snapshot. The fifth miss in a row. Adam curses loudly, adrenaline blurring his vision as the knife slices across his shoulder, worsening his already poor aim. He keeps running, but the man seemingly never grows tired. Finally, after rounding a corner, Adam's arrow finds their marks. A couple well-placed shot, and the man falls. Shit. That was far too close. He heads inside to mend his wounds, chats with Lily for a bit, and then turns in for the night. The day for rice has come. It's a relief, a breath of fresh air. Bountiful swaths of edible food are harvested and carried into the shack, stored safe and sound. The joy of the harvest was short-lived. In the nighttime storm, another raid comes. It's a Yttakin, a creature practically made of muscle fibers and mitochondria. This time, Adam is ready. He takes cover behind a concealed spike trap and starts letting loose some arrows. It's hit after hit, but the creature is standing still, just tanking every shot. Then, a sprint. It runs straight through the pitfall trap, stabbing and crushing its torso, but nonetheless charges in and stabs Adam. Even this bodily damage, the attacker is chasing him down with more attacks. The thing is high on go juice. It's a chemical that dulls the senses and boosts adrenaline. It can't even feel the wounds it's taking. The thing is mostly dead, but that doesn't stop it from kicking Adam to the dirt and knocking him out. Before the Yttakin delivers the killing blow, he turns his head. A mysterious man has arrived, shouting for Adam. He's armed with a shiny metal revolver and effortlessly dispatches the attacker. Time is running out. The man sprints over to Adam's bleeding body and tends to his wounds in the pouring nighttime rain. He's screaming in the pain as this unknown savior tightly wraps up the cuts. The man's name is Red, and he's here to help the Exodites. Adam is too injured to ask anything else. He sleeps and sleeps and sleeps. All the while, Red gets to work maintaining the chores of the crew, feeding Lily, cutting stone, and tending to the garden. The fight with Yttakin has left more than simple wounds. Adam is suffering one of the most deadly conditions in Rimworld, an infection. Between the pain of the battle, the illness, stress, and frustration, Adam snaps. A food binge, a mental break. He launches out of bed and starts eating everything in sight. Normally, this wouldn't be too big of a problem, but his infection could kill him with all this activity. With Lily still paralyzed, Red decides to capture Adam as a prisoner. There is just no snapping him out of it. He's taken to bed, forcibly this time, with Red now serving as doctor and warden of the team. The infection continues, and he's praying he'll develop an immunity before it kills him, which causes a second mental snap. Adam gets out of bed once more in a daze, wandering around aimlessly before Red once again forces him back to rest. With all odds against him, his body finally develops an immunity, and Adam's life is spared, barely. Unfortunately, Red still needs to build a jail cell. He has taken Adam prisoner, who is sure to snap again if he's not in the right mindset. That can't happen. Not after Red's come all this way. After securing a cramped corner for Adam to stay in, Red does his first round of wardening. Adam Malkovich is a steeled, hardened man with 2 decades of military leadership experience, now a mere prisoner dog in his own shelter. There's resentment in his eyes, boiling regret and seething embarrassment. Mechanically speaking, his resistance to rejoining the team is super high. It'll take an entire quadrum to get this man back, but Red knows this isn't too much of a price to pay for saving Adam's life. Time passes, and some children enter the crater, begging to join. It's tragic, but we just don't have the infrastructure for more people, especially a bunch of kids. They have to move on elsewhere. Not all is bad, though. Lily's paralytic abasia is almost healed, and Adam is almost back to his senses. She screams in joy, attracting everyone's attention. With careful stumbling, she removes the blanket from her body, swings her legs over the side of the bed, and stands up. It's a miracle. She can move again. And just like that, the trio is here. Lily, Red, and Adam. Adam slowly emerges from the jail cell. He's completely ashamed of his behavior. He gives mathematical apologies to both of them, acknowledges the validity of the mutiny, and thanks Red for saving his life. In a metaphorical show of honesty, Adam picks up the keys to his old crashed starship, turns them over in his hands, and offers them to Red, the man who made a tough choice and saved their lives. It's only right to defer to Red's judgment now. Adam understands the pecking order. But no, Red doesn't want that. He laughs a large-bellied, playful holler and smacks the useless keys against the marble wall. No, Adam is the leader. No one would be here without him. It's Adam's decision that have gotten them this far, not Red's, and besides, he's the only one who can pilot a starship. Lily gives Adam a big youthful hug, and Red pats his back. You're in charge, Captain Malkovich, of all of us. Adam, still naked because they literally haven't had access to any clothes or textile production, relaxes gently in their embrace. He's not used to being touched, but these strangers seem genuine. All right then, it's decided. Back to work. The crew sleeps quite restfully that night. Everything seems to be stable. The lava is dormant, and we can finally start planting some cotton. He has a much-needed smoke while the group relaxes. He jokes about how even with this stone shack and an abundance of food, he still doesn't have any clothes. As if it was manifested from the stars he came from, a trader arrives to Hell's Landing selling 300 cloth. Oh my god, we trade half our stock of corn for it. An easy decision to finally get Adam something to wear. Maybe they just took pity on him. Somewhere nearby, a volcano erupts. Not this one, thankfully, but one close enough to blanket the area in volcanic ash. The sky darkens and the solar panels become useless. They build a massive windmill to collect power and muse about how thankful they are to have a safe place as the ash piles up on the roof like snow. Another raider shows up, but this time, we're at our full strength. Adam and Red queue up with their pistol and recurve bow, making short work of the attacker. Her name is Raywolf, and her stats are pretty good. Time to put a real prisoner in the jail cell. In the last of the volcanic ash, Red solos another attacker and joins Adam to fend off a hungry cougar. What's this? Mechanoid tech? It's a gravity engine! What luck! Adam bolts away and sprints over to the dormant machine to investigate. It's real! It's here! It can work! A functioning starship drive! Fresh! It must have crashed in the wreckage of a ship. He didn't see it! With this miracle of technology, Adam can finally stabilize. With the ship comes safety, work, purpose. No need for rescue any longer. Adam can just go wherever he wants, and eventually upgrade the ship enough to exit the atmosphere and leave the planet. Oh, there is so much work to be done. Okay, task list time. Adam takes notes of what's nearby, and we're missing a grav core. Without it, ship can't fly. He returns back to tell the guys what he's discovered, and everyone's immediately on board. Lots to do, but the newfound sense of purpose has everyone excited and energized. The grav core is very far away, so the team needs to prepare for it. Recurve bows and t-shirts won't cut it for this trip. We're gonna need training, weapons, and armor. Adam steals the team for the tribulations to come. If they'll have him as leader, he's happy to teach what he knows. Red silently nods under his cowboy hat, and Lily rolls her eyes, giving a sarcastic salute. Yes, Adam, the only one here with military experience, please teach us how to fight. They built some target dummies, and Red tests them out. They're perfect, and he's already seeing improvement from Adam's pointers. What's next on the task list? Right, fuel! Ships need chem fuel to fly, and Lily knows a trick. If you can maintain a herd of boomalopes, you can milk them to get fuel. Adam retches a bit at the thought, but she's experienced and is happy to do it. If there's anything Adam hates more than gardening, it's livestock. Raywolf has agreed to join the team. She's been in holding for a while and has learned that, even though this place is pretty grim, it's far better from the tribe she left behind. Everyone welcomes Ray to the team, and she spends the first night in a chair while they expand the bedroom to fit her. Lily attempts her first boomalope domestication. They need to be bribed with food, and it won't always go well. She fails her first attempt, but Adam ensures his patience while he gives a shooting lesson. No need to rush things with wild animals. She tries again, but they fight back. Lily has to sprint around the compound while Red shoots at the herd of beasts. One boomalope survives the explosions and is taken back to their new barn to get patched up. Lily has used too much of our food on failed taming attempts, so she pauses the work for now. More room is needed for storage and production, so we clear out a big hole in the nearby hillside to store our items and do our work. A corn harvest is ready and bountiful, so Lily gets back to taming the boomalopes and makes a breakthrough. She names her Chloe and delicately guides her to the pen. A wild fox starts hunting Lily for food, so Cave comes over to... Oh, wait, did I mention Cave? I didn't. Hold on, when did Cave show up? There's no footage of Cave showing up? When did he get here? Who is this man? I didn't record the... Okay, well, get used to him, because he and Lily are now lovers. It must have been so romantic to accidentally shoot her in the leg. I guess they trauma bonded over it. How sweet. You love to see romance on the rim. A Yitakin named Fur is out for blood. It's a satisfying fight, everyone coordinating their shots to rescue Red from the melee engagement. She goes down to a clean volley of arrows, but Red is pretty injured. Adam is getting tired of bloodthirsty idiots trying to take the lives of his people. Out of sheer instinct, he barks an order to his crew to execute the attacker. A hesitation. A moment. People make eye contact before Red smiles. The order sounded right. Adam's a natural leader, so they had no problem putting Fur out of her misery. The first chem fuel has been milked, and Lily tamed a male boomalope. That means it's time to make babies. For the livestock, not Lily. While the production area is getting finished, we complete research on basic grav tech. Alright, the first plans of the grav ship are being drafted. It's all Adam's brainchild. A design he's wanted to see real for many years, but never had the political leeway or resources to make it happen. This time though, this will be different. Everything to his specs. In the midst of a normal day, a transport pod crashes from space. A Yitakin named Kish. He's a teenager, but a hardy one. The Exodites open up a bed for him. The plans are completed, and everyone throws a party. Even stoic Adam comes inside to drink and be merry. It's taken a lot of work, but the first panels are placed in the ship. Time to name this soon-to-be spacefaring vessel. Adam can only think of one title, the Mantis Shrimp. With the expedition to gather gravlight panels on the horizon, the crew is wrapping up manufacturing on their own personal firearms. Adam trains his new shotgun and deems it fair. Shame to let go of his handcrafted recurve bow, but this is a necessary upgrade for what's to come. An easy raid arrives just in time for everyone to try out their new gear. I think you can imagine how it goes. The day finally arrives to hunt for the remaining gravlight needed to build the Mantis Shrimp. Adam, Red, Cave, and our new friend Kish squad up for the mission. Orders are made to leave Hell's Landing and head off to a certain coordinate in the west. The journey itself is uneventful, and they arrive on site just before nightfall. Around the prairie, we see several above-ground entrances to ancient bunkers. They're going to be hell and a half to open, but the boys came prepared to stay. As Adam sets up the perimeter, a lone pigskin decides to raid the zone, no doubt looking for the bunkers himself. He comes armed and doesn't reply to negotiation. In the rain, the boys decide to take cover behind the rocks and open fire with the new guns. The pig finds better cover and dodges every shot from the first volley. No good here in the dark and rain, Adam calls for a forward advancing firing line. It's a clumsy movement and the pig is a cracked shot. Adam's leg gets struck while trudging forward in the mud. The line is established and the bullets find their marks. A second shot plows into Adam's flak jacket and Cave takes one to the gut just as easily. That pig is a force of nature, shrugging off Kish's frag grenades like it was nothing. Finally, a third explosion takes him down. After neutralization, the boys hunker down and get patched up. Fighting at night is bad enough, but fighting in the rain is even worse. It's a good thing we brought high-quality medicine. Adam, having the most computer experience, gets to work opening the hatches. Red builds a roof over their heads at the campsite. Back at Hell's Landing, a man without eyes wanders in. He's small and frail, but looks on with kindness. He says he knows his talents are needed here and wants to stay. Without Adam here, Lily has a tough decision to make. She decides to let him in, but refuses to allow him any means of self-defense should there be a betrayal. Meanwhile, back at the bunker, hacking the doors is taking far longer than expected. The boys build a more permanent shelter as they'll be spending another week here searching for gravlight panels and the core to fly the ship. Alright, doors open. Let's go inside. Down in the vault, it's silent, cold, and humid. There's wetness on the walls and smells gently of smoke leaf and sulfur. There's one door to open, which leads to a corpse-filled room and an entire pallet of survival meals sitting next to a dining setup. This seems to have once been a mess hall of sorts. The crew happily takes the food for themselves, it's not like the body will need it, and Adam starts working on the next door. Inside it is a large bedroom, with ancient military cots lining the floor. As the team clears room after room, they find leftovers of a once thriving panic shelter, including Glitter World medicine. Who lived here? Who built this? And concerningly, where did they go? The crew sleep in the bunker overnight before clearing out the rest of the facility, taking more loot as they go. Unfortunately, even through all the doors, this bunker was a bust. No grav core, no panels, no signs of life either. Red's trigger finger is getting itchy, Cave is getting anxious. With the bunker security already compromised, the crew enters the next facility in search of the panels. Similar story as before, a ladder room with doors. Hopping back over to Hell's Landing, Ray Wolf has created a masterwork clothing item. Cool, a slave collar. Ah, right. I'm just going to move on from that before I start thinking too hard. The boys enter the bunker and breach the first door right into a nest of mega spiders. Not good, as these monsters can easily tear holes in the best of armors. It's a good thing Kish brought his grenades. He destroys the nest as a spider flees into the next room. It's not like these things to run away, so Cave opens the door with caution. A flying insectoid comes charging at them, but Kish kicks it down onto the tile. Red's shotgun takes down the mega spider, and all goes quiet. They squish around in the blood of the bugs as they open the next door. Another living quarters, another barracks, which they rest in. The crew is beginning to give up hope when Adam stumbles into the storage room. Jackpot, Gravlite panels. He's cautious though. There's a small triangular machine in the corner of the room and some strange orbs in the other. Expecting a trap, he calls the team over to set up a firing line. They breach the door open and has Kish tempt the weird device with a grenade. The blast releases a few round attack drones, which have a mild explosion on death. Nothing their flak armor can't handle, but they take the time to bandage nonetheless. Adam manually triggers the next drone, ignites a weak point, and flees into the next room before he can take any damage. Now, finally, the crew can collect the grav panels, the core, and get out of here. Everyone comes to stuff whatever they can in their bags, finally able to leave this terrible bunker. The crew set up camp during their long trek to Hell's Landing to rest and have a bite to eat. Adam joins Cave to swim in a little pond, soothing their aching muscles in the cool water. Cave mentions how excited he feels to finally be on the verge of escape, and Adam can't help but agree. Soon they'll be leaving behind the hell pit they call home, replacing it for the comfort of a sleek, smooth, clean grav ship, filled with comfortable bunks and air conditioning. It'll be nice. Everyone arrives home safely. Job well done. We finally have enough Gravlite panels to finish the Mantis shrimp. Slowly but surely, things are loaded onto the Mantis. Fuel reserves are installed, rooms are being drawn, hydroponic basins for growing vegetables, batteries for reserve power, and storage in the starboard wing. It's going very well. The exterior of the Mantis is getting painted, and it looks amazing. Adam's design is coming to life before everyone's eyes. All the work they've done, surviving, fighting, hunting, traveling, all for this. It's almost time to leave. They install workstations to craft and manufacture items while in orbit. Beds for the crew are assigned in the dormitories, and the pilot seat is installed at the main computer. At last, the day for takeoff has arrived. The inside of the ship is sleek and clean. It's air-conditioned and safe. No more dirt and mud and sweat. The starbound exodites hop aboard the Mantis shrimp as they brace for what happens next. As you may have noticed, not everyone is leaving. The ship has a maximum capacity of people, so prisoner Pong and blind man Eli are staying behind. What they don't know is a grav ship's takeoff exhaust is lethal to everyone in an area. The Mantis will scorch the land it leaves, killing anyone left behind. Adam told this to the core crew long ago, and everyone agreed to it. After all, Pong tried to take their lives in a raid, and Eli has been showing signs of dementia. They're not long for this place anyway. Adam cracks his knuckles, sighs, and sits forward in the captain's chair. He works the familiar computer, typing in the coordinates to anywhere that isn't an active volcano. Hell's Landing has been torturing him for far too long, and he craves somewhere that isn't actively trying to kill his crew. He invites everyone to push launch together as the Mantis shrimp finally takes off. They zoom across the face of the planet, crossing a small ocean in a matter of hours. They can see the whooshing prairies and mountains from the windows, G-forces meaning nothing to the advanced Gravlite technology. Before long, they come to a landing in a beautiful alien glowing forest. Everyone made it safe, getting their bearings and a fresh start in a new location. It's quiet, it's safe and sheltered, a collective exhale. Red starts throwing darts. People are tending to plants. Meals are eaten at the table and everyone watches TV. As everyone gets settled, Adam walks out into the night to stare at the ocean, grateful to finally be out of that volcano.